Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and it is time for the Nerdrotic Nooner for Hump Day. What's up, Hump Day? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever to Chris Persia, Punk Star, Thomas K, Mark Lazarth, Halam899, is it Randomicus? Is that like a Roman random person? Randomicus? I don't know. Chris Persia again, Aiden Vickery, Philip A. Demick, Josh and Rebecca Momine. I like that. The couple there, the cute little couple. Colin P. Smith, greetings from the UK. How is everybody? We have a lot to talk about. Venom Broly, Spicy Nacho Haggis. Aiden Vickery. Destiny Captain is on the bridge. Welcome, everybody. Thomas Preston. We're going to wait for some people to roll in, and then we're going to talk about, well, Captain Marvel, Star Trek Discovery, Doctor Who, and the merchandise. I'm going to try to pump up the Umbrella Academy again because I just love the hell out of it. I'm actually watching it a second time. I will be doing a review on the channel, I believe. The caffeine is flowing. It is certainly flowing. I'm fired up today. I got plenty of sleep. I was allowed to sleep in because I was up until about 1 a.m. last night doing that Captain Marvel video, which will be showing up on Bleeding Fool. I just sent them in a little paragraph I wrote, and that should be up on Bleeding Fool later. Please check out Bleeding Fool because they are much better than Bleeding Cool. And I know I ask a lot of the entertainment media, and I ask that some of them try to be neutral or show the other side once in a while. Bleeding Fool and Bounding Into Comics are two websites that do that. Okay, so please check them out as much as you can. Plus, your browser will not be filled up with ads with those two. Bleeding Cool tends to crash computers, brand new ones, I hear. All right, and as a Thundercats, ho, what's up? The Sailing Coconut, your target demographic, Italu, Nassau, Hozcat, Neon Visual. What's up, Neon Visual? How's it going? John Carter, or Joe Carter. Sorry, I had John Carter of Mars in my head. I don't know why. Best Doctor Who, Patrick Troughton. Good to see you. Austin Woods, Flavius Alicanther. What is up? Dion Margraf, Tekaman Blade, and Philip H. Okay, so the first Captain Marvel reactions are in, and I bet you recognize some of those reactions. Don't they just look like the first reactions to maybe Star Trek Discovery or The Last Jedi? Remember those? It's like people forget there's an internet, and the internet is forever. Unless the great magnetic pulse comes out and wipes out our power grid, then we're screwed. But yes, Joseph, Bleeding Fool had a story on the hoax swatting, which things are getting a little out of control when you're faking that. That is an awful thing to fake, because it's something that actually happens to people, something that's actually gotten people hurt, animals killed. So, and it's something I think about. I was talking about it on my Nerdrotic Nooner for my patrons. And yeah, I'm going to have to go down to the police department and I don't know, like register as a YouTuber. How the hell do you do that? They're going to laugh me out of the department. And I live in a city where if you report just a petty theft or your car gets broken into, they tell you to fill out a report online. They don't come out. The only time they come out to your house if somebody's bleeding, pretty much. So, or if there's an armed gunman or something like that. They are very busy here. So there you go. Did Captain Marvel catch it, STD? I hope not. And I want to preface this by saying I am not rooting for Captain Marvel to be bad and to fail. There are things I root to fail. I'm not lying. I'm not going to. Star Trek Discovery, I want to fail. I want it to completely fail because I don't think it can turn around. If I thought there was still a hope that show could turn around, then I wouldn't be rooting for it to fail, because the sooner it fails, the sooner we either get no Trek or get improved Trek, which might happen. But sometimes things have to fail before they get better. As far as Captain Marvel, I don't want the MCU to fail. I love the MCU. The MCU has been a shining example of let's just entertain people and not preach to them. And hopefully it's just the marketing. I'm still not happy about that, but that's what happened with Black Panther. There was a highly politicized marketing, and the movie was just a movie. So we don't know. We don't know until we see it. But the one thing we can no longer believe is reviews from critics and early access tweeters. And I will show you an example of that in a little bit. As far as I did one of those morning news bits. Now, that would have normally been something I say for the live stream, and I'm certainly going to talk about it here. But Star Trek Discovery, it turns out in the earnings report or during an interview for the earnings report, the CEO of CBS All Access said that they are pondering the idea of putting some shows back on the network to probably get subscribers in, basically as reruns, probably as filler for the summer. That would be my guess. Excuse me. But he mentioned The Good Wife, and Digital Spy leapt to the conclusion that it would be Star Trek Discovery. Now, I don't know if they can do that. It depends on what their licensing or their deal is with Netflix, because they might be restricted from putting it on their own network for whatever reason. I don't know. But he did not mention Star Trek Discovery. He mentioned The Good Fight. I thought that was extremely telling. And this is a few days after the article saying that they were way ahead of schedule. They had 8 million subscribers. They're going to readjust everything for 2022. Now that's contradictory to what I've heard. Who knows? Probably with all things, the truth is somewhere in the middle. But my guess is that they got all those subscribers from the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship and Big Brother and the free week, because we saw the article earlier that they tried to equate the subscriber jump to Star Trek Discovery, even though the jump was over a period of days that Star Trek Discovery did not premiere. It actually premiered prior to the weekend they were talking about. Call me crazy. A greater good Captain Marvel needs to fail to woke up Marvel for not making the same mistake twice like Star Wars. If the movie turns out to be like, level 12 woke, yes, I agree with you, Halam 899, 100%. If the movie turns out to be just a movie, fine. Problem is, I guess I see your point there, Halam 899. That tells them it is completely fine to do marketing like that, which I don't think it is. So I think they will get punished. They left some dollars at the door doing marketing, but as I said in my video, I don't think they felt the movie was strong enough and the character was strong enough to market it in a linear fashion. They felt like they needed to do this to stir up controversy, to get more interest in the film, because it sounds like to me that here's my prediction for the film. It'll be just bland. It'll be just kind of forgettable, like Ant-Man and Wasp. I know some people enjoyed that movie. It's not my favorite MCU movie. It had its moments, but I generally didn't like it, and it was totally forgettable. And I bought it out of habit so I could have my complete collection of the MCU, but I don't know if I'm ever going to watch it again. Maybe the stinger at the end, but I can watch that on YouTube. So I think STD would be more liked if they stayed in the Terran universe. I know I wanted it to. Joe, I was saying that in the recaps that it was much more interesting. The only thing I don't like, which is weird, is Michelle Yeoh. I like Michelle Yeoh as the stoic Captain Giorgio or however you say her name. I don't really care. Than the sexy, bad Section 31. It's just terrible. And Michelle Yeoh is a great actress. Okay. But not everybody is great at everything. So I don't mean to disrespect her in any way. Crouching Tiger is one of my favorite all-time movies, and I think she is brilliant, as I think Doug Jones is brilliant. But he's in this mess, and he's actually good in Star Trek Discovery. He tries. And the biggest disappointment was Anson Mount, and it's just the way he's written. It's not his fault. That poor guy, he needs to fire his agent. That's what I'm thinking. Because he was so good in Hell on Wheels. Captain Marvel projected for a $300 million opening. Wait, check that. The check hasn't cleared yet. Shit. Touring 21. Make a Random did a great video on social justice warriors and social justice advocating on how Alita Battle Angel brought pathetic arms to a girl who lost both. Oh, prosthetic arms. Yeah. I saw that. Was it Jeremy? I saw that somewhere else. I saw that in another video. No, it was Jeff from World Class Bullshitters pointed it out in his last video. That's where I saw it. That came out a couple days ago. And yeah, that's cool. That is actually cool. Hey, doing stuff for charity is cool, but we all know why they really do it. They do it to pump up the movie. It's not genuine, because if it was genuine, they wouldn't talk about it. Now, yes, Disney does donate without telling people that, yeah, but it's mostly for tax reasons. Let's be real. They're a big company that needs to make money. You know, all these charities that they were, backing during Black Panther, did they follow up with them? You know, I don't know. They might have, but did they, or did they just like, okay, later, and then they'll come back for the sequel or something like that? That's why it's, listen, we want it. It's okay to use your IP to prop up a charity. That's actually probably pretty good, but let's not pretend they're actually doing it for good reasons. Okay. They're doing it because the company does it because it benefits the company. The best way to donate to charity is to do it personally and keep it. It's like kind of a personal thing, I can't believe how many people still love Rian Johnson and Brie Larson at the fan casting community on Instagram, as I am a fan caster myself, and I first thought they were trolling me. Instagram is a different beast. It is a different beast. It has a different personality from YouTube. I think Instagram is kind of the heir apparent to, I'm sorry, Halam, but I think some of the Tumblr folks are moving over there. And there's also some of the Twitter people moved over there too. We got tired of Twitter's act. My wife loves the Instagram, has been trying to get me back on it forever. It's one more thing I have to do that I don't have time for right now, but I'm thinking about it. I found a website dedicated to Carol Danvers, Cal 2001, and laughed. Albie attacked me outright in a way only a true comic fan can, for not knowing or caring enough about Carol Danvers. This was 20 years ago. The character, as I said in my video, she never sold a lot of comics. Even I would say the best run she ever had was probably Brian Reed's Miss Marvel run. And that's outside of the Avengers. I mean, she's been better in the Avengers. She's perfect for a team book. She's never a character that can go out and carry a solo book for any amount of time. Honestly, neither is Black Panther, but they're good in team books. There's a lot of characters that are just better with the ensemble. That's why the X-Men work so well. The only X-Men that's ever been able to work outside of the X-Men is Wolverine on his own. There's been a lot of miniseries, but we're talking series that have lasted years. All right. 9mm sleeping pill. What's up? How's it going? Prepper James, Brie Larson as Hulk Hogan instead of Chris Hemsworth. I would rather have She-Hulk, to be honest with you. That would be my preference. God, I did a podcast on that a million years ago. How we just laid out how She-Hulk is such a better character. She-Hulk broke the fourth wall before Deadpool to use the John Byrne run. And yeah, she's got a personality. Nerdrotic is schoolhouse work. Yay. Black Panther works on his own. Mr. Roboto for a certain amount of time, but not for a long period of time. Black Panther hasn't had a run that went past 200 issues. So that would tell me he doesn't work on his own. Very few characters do, Mr. Roboto. Very few characters do. And yes, it depends on the writer, but we've got certain, look at Amazing Spider-Man has run for they've kind of cheated a bit, but it's over 600, 700 issues. That's a character that works on its own, one that can stand the test of time for decades. She-Hulk is underrated, in my opinion. Absolutely. Tina Fey for Jen Walters. All right. So, God, I really hate that YouTube is changing stuff around. So I have to go up here and check. All right. Yeah, we got it. We got a good enough amount of people in here. So I want to share with you some articles before. Okay, first of all, here we go. Da, da, da. Okay. Captain Marvel first reaction Twitter roundup. Captain Marvel was screened to members of the press Tuesday evening in LA, and those who saw it now have been allowed to post their honest reactions about the upcoming Marvel Studio film on social media. The reactions have been very positive, with many saying that Captain Marvel is unlike any other film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Multiple critics have praised Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson, and Ben Mendelsohn, as well as the 90s vibe in the movie setting. Okay, our roundup of our first Twitter reaction from critics follows. Editor-in-chief of We Live Entertainment, Scott Menzel, said to this one, Captain Marvel is everything that I hoped it would be. It feels completely unlike any other Marvel film, a unique and fresh take on an origin story that feels new. Brie Larson is fantastic as Carol Danvers. This is one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time. Wow, okay. Captain Marvel has a great 90s sci-fi vibe and tone, unlike any other Marvel movie. Wait, didn't I just read that? Unlike any other Marvel film. Oh, I did just read that. Interesting. Captain Marvel has great 90s vibe, unlike any Marvel movie I've seen. It's retro and trippy, mysterious and dorky. It's funny, surprising places and badass in all the right places. It remains entertaining because it is always changing. It's got the right stuff. That was, who was that? Eric Davis. This is Jim of Jim. It's just Jim. God damn it. Captain Marvel was a lot of fun. Just enough 90s nostalgia without overdoing it. Brie Larson is great. Ditto Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn. Goose the Cat is perfect. Some nice surprises and clever decisions throughout. Cool sci-fi elements and funny thumbs up. I'm going to make sure that's presented to everybody. Peter Sciretta from Slash Film. Captain Marvel is a great origin story. Brie's buddy cop chemistry with Samuel Jackson is so much fun, and her relationship with Lashana Lynch is the real heart of it. Ben Mendelsohn and the cat both steal the show. Then he follows up here. Marvel does a prequel right, not over explaining too much, but giving us unexpected answers in interesting ways. MCU's most multi-layered villain story, a fun 90s soundtrack, but sometimes the song choices feel too obvious. Jackie Jing, Captain Marvel had space battles, car chases, an amazing 90s soundtrack, and adorable kitties. A surprisingly fun script, laughs so much. Great to finally see a kick butt heroine in action, because we've never ever seen one in the Marvel universe. It's about time. Yeah, because like the Marvel universe, the MCU has had no women kicking butt in it whatsoever. Captain Marvel is a blast. Had some surprises that I definitely didn't see coming. And the mystery origin it weaves is engaging and fun. Brie Larson is awesome and makes a fantastic first step into the MCU. By the way, the origin is not a mystery unless they're not paying attention. Everybody kind of knows what's going to happen. I mean, you guys are, everybody can guess. I don't want to spoil, but it is really obvious. Captain Marvel isn't what I expected based on the marketing. It's pretty much an all-in cosmic space movie. Also, it's a lot weirder than I expected. Ben Mendelsohn is also is awesome as Talos. And not wacky weird like Guardians of the Galaxy. Think more Rey snapping into endless mirrors. Well, I would not relate anything to The Last Jedi. That wasn't weird. That was dumb. From The Last Jedi. And also, finally, the MCU and Nirvana song came together. Oh, because it's the 90s. We have to play a Nirvana song. There's your obvious that they were talking about. I can't get over how great Ben Mendelsohn is. And a lot of people have been saying that. I was worried he was going to be a one-note Marvel villain, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Steven Weintraub from Collider. Captain Marvel is a welcome addition to the MCU. The movie is really well done with some great moments. Ben Mendelsohn steals almost every scene he's in. Brie Larson literally shines in the role. So ready for Avengers Endgame. Captain Marvel takes deep 90s breath. Totally awesome. That was kind of an 80s saying, but whatever. Never related to a Marvel character quite like Carol. She's the stubborn Witty's 90s kid I think I am. Ash Crossan. Sonia Kelly. Captain Marvel is an effective Avengers prequel in some ways akin to the first Captain America movie. It's pro-woman without being overdone and with pre- and post-credit scenes that made me tear up and gave me goosebumps respectively. Okay. Is that all of them? Has anybody found any negative stuff? If you have, I'll take a look at that in a second, but I just want to go back in time. Let's go to Star Trek Discovery. Trekkies had strong feelings. I'll get to the chat in just a second, guys. Trekkies had strong feelings about the Star Trek Discovery premiere. I remember this because some of the people a couple of people tweeting here, I know. I can't say which ones. Star Trek Discovery is here, and fans had plenty of feelings about the newest addition to the Star Trek family. The series centers on the Vulcan-raised human commander Michael Burnham. Blah blah blah. On Sunday evening, Trekkies, new and old, gathered to not only point their eyeballs at the first two episodes titled The Vulcan Hole and The Battle of the Binary Stars, respectively, but also to share their thoughts on Twitter. Despite the backlash the show was subjected to ahead of the premiere over its diversity, the reviews after it aired are overwhelmingly positive. Okay. I'm going to get to that in a second, but we're going to stay on this tab because the backlash about the show was really about canon. I don't remember hearing much about diversity, but maybe I wasn't listening. I don't know. Did you guys hear that? I didn't hear it. Okay, Star Trek is fantastic. The production value is really impressive for a TV show. It looks like I'll be paying for CBS All Access. It's like meeting your dad's new girlfriend. You want to hate her, but she brought you a new iPhone. That's kind of funny. So many feels right now. Janeway would be proud. Oh, snap. Y'all got my attention. As a WOC. Oh, okay. I got you. As a WOC, I related to the vibe so much like Sursley. Oh, I can't speak. When y'all getting started to let us out, a black woman in space, because there's never been a black woman in space before. I am loving the lead characters in Star Trek Discovery are both women of color, and they are in charge. Not sure what to make of Star Trek Discovery as yet. Wanted to see more action. The Klingons are a warrior race. They do way too much talking. Hey, there's a good one right there. Oh, wow. Nice. And let down by Star Trek, but I'll be watching next week to give it another chance. Look at Laura being honest. Style over substance. Yeah, see, they couldn't even round up that many good ones. All right, let's go to The Last Jedi, because I remember The Last Jedi one. Here we go. I don't know. I was trying to look for the one that had all the tweets that said it was better than Empire. The Last Jedi is audacious Star Wars movie. It has epic action, great performances, introduces good new characters, has some twists. Oh, here we go. Has some twists. And most importantly, it's an awesome Star Wars movie. I had a great time watching it. What's better? The Force, Last Jedi was fantastic sequel to a what? So, guys, the Last Jedi is a fantastic sequel to a poorly made The Force Awakens. It's dark, ambitious, full of plot twists, and definitely one of the best Star Wars movie to date. Maybe even the best. Loved it. Oh my God. Fresh take of the franchise. I chose Holy Balls. Rian crushes it. Dear God, I hope they pick this tweet. It means The Last Jedi made me feel like a kid again. Hells yeah. Okay. So you get the point. And there was a ton of articles out there, and I remember my co-host coming at me with the whole better than Empire thing, and I couldn't believe I was hearing that prior. So you can never trust these things. Okay, that's the whole damn point. And the thing is, these are especially with the critics, what they did with Star Trek Discovery is they handpicked certain people who are influential on social media, and of course they don't tell you to say anything, of course not, but they figure you want to be invited to the next screening, and Yeah, that's a big part of it. Rough Girl Reviews, $4.99. Just dropping in to say hi. Don't know anyone, and people aren't saying hello. Totally rude now. What's going on? Say hello to Rough Girl. Thank you for the $4.99. Shill after shill after shill. I know. How are you supposed to trust any early access journalists? Awesome, awesome, more awesome. Perfection. Bullshit, right? Tommelfinger. Chris Persia. What's up, man? What's he says? Terminal insanity. The media projects what it wants us to become, hoping our fear of being the outsider will make us fall in line. That's really well said. That's very well said. Remember to respect women who can push cars. Yes. And by twists, they mean bad writing, says What is the Matrix? Exactly. Rough Girl, What is the Matrix? Says hello. Hello and salutations from Jeff Shortall. Hello from Albert Kuhn. Lubella. Hi, Rough Girl. Sorry, just arrived and I am at work. See, a lot of people are saying hello, Rough Girl. If CBS does not put STD on the network, it will go up. If CBS puts STD on their network, will it go up against the Orville? Stephen Klein, that's a good question. I would imagine not. Here's what I think they will do if they put it on the network. They will probably put it on during summer. During the summer when it can have reruns and stuff. So there you go. Howdy. Be a shame if you were blacklisted. A good review might help avoid that eventuality. Yes. Well, and that's Michael R. That's part of the problem here. That's part of the big problem here. Is the shill thing? It's degraded entertainment to the point where we get stuff now and we just know it's bad. And it's not even about the bad show. Shows are bad. Shows are bad once in a while. That's fine. That's great. The problem is when they start making the shows for the critics and the critics start writing for somebody else and the fans get forgotten and we have people, and now the arguments don't come about the show itself. The arguments are about, the arguments are about political lines or opinions or people taking stuff personally. That's the one thing. I mean, it's a good thing I don't take anything personally here, for sure. Brie Larson would be perfect for a Joker. Would she be able to guess what she could do by her facial expressions? Azrael got 100 issues thanks to Denny O'Neil. That's about the level of Black Panther is on. I think if Black Panther, Austin, if Black Panther had a writer who was good and who would stick with it, I think it could go beyond that. They got close to that, in my opinion, with the Marvel Knights run with Priest. That was good, but it's Marvel. It's actually Marvel's fault. They never want to follow a good Black Panther writer up with another good writer. They just kind of give up. Well, they give up on all the books now. So it's really not Black Panther's fault. It could become a character like that. I totally agree. Daredevil should not exist today, but he does because of Frank Miller. Peter Dinklage for She-Hulk. That's funny. What's up, Mary Ashmead? How's it going? So they couldn't say it wasn't good. That's what I'm sure they could. I'm sure some did. But they feel like, well, that's why it's called access journalism. They're not forced to say anything, but they know how to toe the line. Some people do pop off, and guess what? They don't get invited back. A great example is the website Bleeding Cool. They used to get comps for Marvel, and when they started being critical of Marvel, they stopped getting their comps. And it just depends on how important those things are to people. But knowing what I know, the media does not feel free to say whatever they want. In some aspects, that might be okay. Thank you for the £2 super chat. Joseph Petrix, Jedi was shite. We'll give a chance to Captain Disco. Yes, I'm always going to give a chance to Captain Marvel. We'll see. But I agree with Halam. I'd hate to reward that marketing. My guess is average movie. it's an average movie. Paid reviews for Captain Marvel. Remember early reviews for Last Jedi? I'll wait for real reviews from regular moviegoers. Prepper James, exactly. I will be live with Comics Division on the 7th. We'll be live that evening. If anybody's up late or you people in the UK will be up. I think they will dumb down Nick Fury's role. He's been a hard ass so far. That, yes, that's kind of what I'm afraid they're going to kind of undercut him a little bit, for lack of a better word. But what they're going to do with the origin is, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's so obvious. From the shows you watch, like Expanse or Orville, which actress from those shows like that could play a great She-Hulk, in your opinion? Well, I can't remember her name right now, but the girl who plays Bobby Draper in The Expanse, she's pretty big. She has to be big. She has to be big. I know they would want to cast like Gwendolyn Christie because she is naturally big, but I don't think she'd make from Game of Thrones. I don't think she'd make a good She-Hulk. Oh, that is a good She-Hulk. Has to kind of look like China, the wrestler, not the porn star. Got to make that differentiate, but that's what she's got to kind of look like. I mean, kind of yoked, kind of big, but not, how do I, you know what I mean? Not how she looks now in the comics. That will not sell. Alex Brown says, yeah, I'm done with this movie. I'm not interested at all. And that a lot of people are saying that, and that's because, and that was their dumb marketing. You know, I don't understand that. Like all of a sudden, yeah, and it was Brie. It wasn't. Well, it was Marvel too. They let her do it. They signed off on it. That's why it's out of character for them. The last couple of years have been weird, but it's been weird politically, and that's why we keep talking about that crap here, because it's really just it's gotten insane with the entertainment. It's gotten so bad. What is better than Cats? I'm trying to hire Changel. Hiria Changel. I'm screwing up your name there. Sorry. Dogs. I like cats though, but I like dogs more. Maybe we should have no fapping group. Maybe. The party line. The cat is great. That's all we keep hearing. And Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The critic reviews are insane. Poor Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman swept under the rug, along with Sigourney Weaver, Linda Hamilton, etc., etc. Yep, dude. Oh, and Gamora, you know, Zoe Saldana, Gamora, Karen Gillan as Nebula. Poor Scarlett Johansson. I mean, they rolled the red carpet out for Brie Larson and they rolled it right past Scarlett Johansson. And I would much rather see a Black Widow movie, a hard R Black Widow movie. Lots of crazy spy killing betrayal stuff. Any other Marvel films seem to have been financially hit. Guess there's a first time for everything. Any other? Yeah, no Marvel. Well, Ant-Man and Wasp didn't do great. It still did well enough based on its production value, but it didn't do gangbusters. Since most Marvel movies were good, I guess Captain Marvel will be unlike any other Marvel movie. We don't know yet, Doug Nelson. I mean, Marvel's got tons of goodwill, so even if they do, say it's just average, they'll probably take that because Avengers Endgame is right afterwards. Buddy cop like Venom. I'll wait for the audience reviews before I believe anything. Yep, me too. I'll wait till I see it. The flawed characters are more sympathetic. A lot of characters like Black Panther come off as too self-righteous. Characters like She-Hulk, Spider-Man, and Wolverine are more realistic. The Scribe. Yes. Well, Black Panther, that's how he was written of late. If you read the Christopher Priest Black Panther from Marvel Knights in the early 2000s. He's extremely complicated, good character. The Jack Kirby stuff, I mean, we can't say the characters were really deep in the 70s, but Black Panther was just a guy with a suit who was just a major badass. I kind of prefer that over the tech. But I'm old school like that. I like Batman's tech. I don't like Batman wearing Kevlar and stuff. I always maintain the reason that Batman is special is because he could kick 72 ninjas ass, butt ass naked. Thank you, Zanzoltan for what's it? What's an ARS? 50. I'm gonna have to look that up. Give me just a second, folks. Man, you learn so much YouTubing. Jeez. ARS. Time. So we are going to be talking about Doctor Who too. Somebody brought something to my attention, and then it made me call my insider, and I got some Argentinian. That is cool. We do not hear enough from South America. Zanzoltan, we don't at all. And man, that it's on my bucket list to go down there. So that's brilliant. Thank you. Big fan of your videos. Really love the Orville. Thanks for the recommendation. Salutations for it's right there. I should have read the freaking super chat. Argentina. Thank you so much. Yeah, it always helps to read the super chat first. Thanks, my friend. Joseph Petrick, £2. We need a rated R Black Widow movie now. And yeah, it's got to be female James Bond, straight up. Sexy, violent, fun, fast cars, going to clubs, locations, and a superhero. Basically you want to do your female James Bond, there you go. It's right there in the Marvel universe. And then you go, listen, I don't think you could just do a movie you can't do any real superhero movie by themselves anymore. Like, listen, even Captain Marvel has Nick Fury in it and the Skrulls. So the Skrulls is a big draw for me. I'm kind of excited about seeing Ben Mendelsohn as a Skrull. That's going to be kind of cool. If they have the Skrull change into other superheroes, that's going to be awesome. I will say that will give me a geek moment, but I don't know. But for the Black Widow movie, yeah, you bring in like Hawkeye, or you introduce another kind of street level Marvel character. Pick one, doesn't matter. Find a way to introduce like Moon Knight or somebody cool like that. And yeah, it would be a badass movie. It would be badass. Or, I mean, like if they don't feel like Disney doesn't feel like they want to put out a rated R movie out in the theaters, put it on Hulu or something. I don't know. Look, DC has showed no fear of going rated R with their stuff. Doom Patrol is straight up a rated R show, and it's good. It's really good. Have you seen all the SJWs losing their over Jason Reitman saying his version of Ghostbusters will hand the movie back to the fans? Is that what he said? Then good for him. And if they're losing their minds, that is a great example. Thank you, Heavy Fisted. That is a great example why you don't market your movie like this, because when and if something like this fails, then guess who's going to turn on you? All those people you were trying to satisfy who are unsatisfiable, by the way. It's a very small group of people who are never satisfied because they're just there to stir shit up. They're not fans of the material. They're just there to break it down. They're there to destroy. They're like a bunch of little jokers, except not as entertaining and likable. Yeah. Heavy Fisted, I will look that up in a little bit. That is amazing that he said that. And wow, what a great statement. Now, we still need to see the movie, right? But I think a lot of what's going on, and I talked about this last live stream, is I think a lot of Hollywood and the writers are just falling in line. I doubt this many of them are political, but I think some of the people who are in power right now are hyper political, and people are just falling in line to keep their jobs. Personally, there's no job worth, like, I don't know, selling your soul for like that. I mean, like, how important is this stuff? Especially when it's kind of waning, to be honest with you. Yep. Okay. Jason Reitman says new Ghostbusters movie will hand movie back to fans. Let's share that. Hey, thank you for sharing that, man. I really appreciate that. Let's breaking news, man, because this is something after all the toxic freaking media, which is the theme of the day right now, going on. That let me get this ad out of here. It's nice to hear this in contrast, because what the toxic media did last night was shameful. I did a video on it. I'll be talking about it here. Jason Reitman promises new Ghostbusters will hand the movie back to fans. But if the new movie is for fans, then who was the 2016 movie for? Oh boy. It was for people who didn't buy it. It was for people who didn't exist. It wasn't for anybody. It was for Hollywood. It was for critics. It was for a certain sect of people. It wasn't for the fans at all. If you want to answer that question, Jason Reitman is staying the course to make the new Ghostbusters movie, but his latest remarks about the project are already kicking off a backlash. In an interview on Bill Burr's podcast on Monday, the Oscar-nominated filmmaker, son of the original Ghostbusters director Ivan Reitman, said that the newest Ghostbusters will be a reboot that will go back to the original technique and hand the movie back to fans. Well, on a aesthetic level, what's your name? Johanna. The movie, the 10 minutes that I watched was utter garbage. And it had nothing to do with the women. It had everything to do with the writing. It had everything to do with Paul Feig's awful directing. And I've watched a couple of his movies. I know some people like them. I don't. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah, that was verging on a personal attack, so I won't do it. But Reitman went into detail about said original technique, explaining that for the first teaser released in January, he used original files for the sounds of the proton pack and the original lettering that was used in the first film's promotional materials. We went back and found the original physical vinyl letters and that they used to create a Ghostbusters poster in 1984. Rescanned them, then our title guys reprinted them, and we filmed the titles. He said we shot physical titles with a light and smoke effect, because that's how they would have done it back in the day. He also made it clear that he's not necessarily looking to put his own stamp on this material. Here's another shot at Paul Feig, who was trying to put his own stamp on the material and insisted instead intends to remain loyal to the franchise's core. I'm not making the Juno of Ghostbuster movies, he said, referring to his breakthrough 2007 movie. This is going to be a love letter to Ghostbusters. I want to make a movie for my fellow Ghostbusters fans. Jason Reitman, everybody. That should be how every director acts for a solid year. They should all go to their little union. Look at that guy right there. Look at John Hamm. That's Batman right there. Look at that. That is freaking Batman. So they should have a little meeting, the directors union or whatever, and just, let bygones be bygones and say, hey guys, let's just, let's try to mend fences with the fans. Let's try to, he's saying right now, how often do you hear a director say, I am just a fan? Like never. It's usually a Ryan Johnson film or a film by. Very excited about that statement. On the surface, Reitman, I'm sure she's going to find a problem with it though. On the surface, Reitman's comments are fairly innocuous because they are. The man loves the Ghostbusters and he's making a movie that the diehard Ghostbusters fans will love. Clear enough. But considering the off-toxic discourse surrounding the franchise, his comments have raised eyebrows. So saying you're making a movie for the fans raises eyebrows. I almost said a bad word really loud. Not least because Reitman hasn't acknowledged the ugly reaction to the 2016 Ghostbusters remake, which starred an all-female cast. See, because when you cast all female, when you cast diversity, when you put this first, you're not allowed to criticize it, because if you do, you're sexist. This will lead in to what my video about Captain Marvel was last night. It was simply a bad movie. Sony made a choice to make it a feminist picture, which I didn't watch it. I don't know if it was it? Was it, or was it just all female cast when they could have easily just cast 2 men and 2 women? And those 2 men and 2 women don't have to all be the same color. You know what? That would probably work really well. I would have loved to have seen a Ghostbusters with 2 men and 2 women working together. But nowadays, even if you did that, the 2 men would have to be bumbling idiots. Certainly you can have one be a bumbling idiot. I'm just saying, spread the love. I continue. Which started an all-female cast that included blah, 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 blah. Members of the cast and director Paul Feig were hounded for months by misogynist trolls who described the reboot long before it, decried the reboot long before it officially opened, because it was really just a good movie. And it was those trolls who ruined it. It wasn't Paul Feig who ruined the movie. Harassing and doxing Jones in particular. Well, there's no doxing's lame. Did she get doxxed though? I don't remember that. I remember her taking down some pretty big people on Twitter. Reitman had made it clear that his reboot, which will shoot this summer, will ignore the 2016 film entirely. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Sony wants that too. I have so much respect for what Paul created with the brilliant actresses, and would love to see more stories from them, he told Entertainment Weekly in January. However, this movie will follow the trajectory of the original film. What did he say wrong? So they're trying to find things wrong. See, this is toxic media. Jones has weighed in on Reitman's decision to gloss over the 2016 film, writing on Twitter that she finds it so insulting. Like, F this. We didn't count. And yeah, she mentions that, blah, blah, blah. And we already know what she said there. Okay. Well, I'll get back to you. Sorry, guys. Back to you now. Rory McGee, 5 pounds. That's not enough. There's not enough talent in the world. That could recreate Ghostbusters. The original Ghostbusters, no. What you can do is hope to get in the ballpark, but even even the former talent involved couldn't recapture the magic with Ghostbusters 2. And it was only a few years later. They kind of waited too long, but that was lightning in a bottle. That was a one-time thing that will never happen again. You're right, Mr. Roboto, for $2. Thank you. To be fair, Feig was pressured into his words. Pressured into his words from who? Was that I never heard that, but I believe you. I believe you, Mr. Roboto. We are toxic, isn't it? The pot calling the kettle white because we can't say black, raising eyebrows, but they didn't have any. They're all penciled in. Tommelfinger laying down the smack. Yeah, see, it's the media that stirs us up for clicks and stuff. And listen, they could just report on it. I didn't hear Ivan Reitman say anything wrong. I didn't hear him say anything wrong. It sounds like he's just trying to make something for fans, but that is something bad. Siding with the fans now is something bad. And what was that article? Who wrote this again? Oh, God. It was Vanity Fair. Well, maybe they should just go, write about stylistas and, cocktail parties and stuff in Manhattan, and just leave the entertainment stuff to somebody else. Is Captain Marvel the new female Chuck Norris? Insert Chuck Norris joke here. Jehovah's 9. Ryan Landis, the 2016 Ghostbusters was for the ghosts because they were the only ones in the theaters. Oh, SJW is anti-diversity. All women isn't diverse. Counterpart is diverse. Young Justice is diverse. Brian Fisher, you are correct. The Orville is diverse. The Expanse is diverse. What's up, Artemis Over Easy? How's it going? Uh, Joseph, and you are correct. That is what's behind that. Usually what's behind any kind of an attack is something personal. Leslie Jones obviously doesn't care about entertaining the fans, only her own legacy. And that's all these characters. That's what they listen. Paul Feig swung for the fences and he whiffed. He struck out swinging. He thought he was on a bit of a roll. Now, I would argue that maybe he got a little overconfident, and he thought he could take. And I guess he just didn't know what he was taking on. Yeah, and I don't know if Sony understood how passionate Ghostbusters fans are. I mean, they are as passionate as a Star Wars fan. And there's not a ton of material out there. There's a couple of cartoons, there's a couple of movies. All of them are pretty good in their own right, you know. But the fan base is crazy. I mean, that is some people's childhoods. Just as Star Wars was my childhood, Ghostbusters was some kids' childhood. And Ghostbusters was, I mean, such a great movie. I don't know if you can recapture that. That's a great point there, Rory. I won't watch 2016 Ghostbusters. I keep my memories of the original I saw in the cinema. Natasha, same here. I remember seeing it when I was 14 years old. That was a great summer too. Man, that was a good summer. I'm not going to get into why that was a good summer, but that was one of the best summers I ever had. It's very eye-opening. Chris Hemsworth was also in 2016 version, but he just played a normal token dumb bloke. So Shadow Dancer. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the world down. What's new with Doctor Who? DeHobbs 9. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me catch up to some more chats here. Captain Marvel is the new Ghostbusters 2016. God, I hope not. I hope not. What? They had a bad call from customer service. I identify as a fire elemental. Ah, Joshua, that's cool. I identify as an earthbender. Indiana Leslie Jones and the reboot of Doom. Fanbusters. Shame I like Spy. Dr. Beast Hunter Spy was okay. I mean, it was okay. I don't know if you hand that guy a franchise, but that tells me Sony really didn't know what they had, and I think they know that now. And sometimes these executives are so, they're all in their I mean, I believe they're Coke parties, butt chugging, doing their thing, you know, me tooing somebody or you know, yelling at an intern, doing something horrible. They don't pay attention to what fans say ever. The one thing I noticed, where I started noticing it is through the comic shop. So I'd start carrying Ghostbuster stuff. Just sometimes I carried stuff because I liked it. There was really no data to say that it would ever sell in my shop, but I'm like, oh, the Ecto one, yeah, I'm buying that because, you know, if it doesn't sell, I'll just take it home. Well, like, it's sold in a day. Like anything I put Ghostbusters up, and then I got the, you know, the 1/6 scale figures and the action figures, and they sold like crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, there you go. That answers that. The hunky chunky funky monkey. How are you, my friend? How are you doing? Ghostbusters 2016. Now there's something you don't see. Okay. So DeHobbs 9. It was brought up to me on Twitter. This is the first sign your thing is failing. Give me just, I need to buy some time here. Be shot cosplayer coat. I might do a video on this, but there's not, I needed a little more solid material. So it's a live stream thing. One of the things I'm going to start doing next week is time stamping again. I'm almost caught up on everything, but not quite. And you know, I feel like I haven't been getting to the chat enough either. I'm going to try to do that more. It's getting faster, but I'm getting better at it. You know, I just need a little practice at this. I'm very used to it when it was slow. So, man, I got to find this. Hang on. 13th Doctor. Man, I should have bookmarked that. Dang it. Hang on. I got to go to my Twitter now. Okay, so somebody shot me on Twitter that there is a cosplay company called Abby Shot. Abby Shot makes cosplay coats. They did a Peter Capaldi 12th Doctor coat for because he had different coats, different seasons, and I think it was a season 9 coat. Badass coat, totally badass coat. And you have to pre-order with this company, and if you get enough pre-orders, then they put it into production. So they did a 13th Doctor quote here, coat, and okay, so they did a men and women's. They did a men's 13th Doctor coat. All right, so they pre-ordered. They did a pre-order for Capaldi's, which sold out, no problem. Here we go, right here. I knew I'd find it. All right, so they did a 13th Doctor coat for men and women, and they put it up for pre-order. They gave it another month. That's not the one. You want some socks? This is the one I want right here. So what happened was it's gone. The page is now completely gone. So if you go to, I was trying to go to the tweet, but now it's gone. Yeah, it's completely gone. So I'll read the tweet to you, which says, it's time to regenerate yet again into a new adventure with a new doctor, new friends, new villains, and most importantly, a new coat officially licensed by Doctor Who. I think I even responded. What? Here we go. They've gotten rid of it completely. Okay. So again, they didn't get half the orders they needed. And therefore, they did not sell the coat. Now, it's just a cosplay coat. But Doctor Who cosplay used to be a huge thing. It used to be everywhere. The fact that this didn't even get half the orders it needed for men and women, and they had to cancel the coat. And the funny thing is, the term they used was, and it's not there, that's why I wanted to pull it up, was exterminated. They exterminated the brand. So this led me to call an insider at a certain company, which I cannot name again. I've done it before. Look in the past things. I've done it before. I can't name it again, or I'll get in big trouble. I'm a bit of a blabber. I'm sorry. So this company requires pre-orders as well. So it's been having a hard time of late. Now it has other licenses that helps it, but it used to rely on Doctor Who. It can't anymore. And the pre-orders are not coming in to the levels they would like for anything related to the 13th Doctor. They're still getting pretty good stuff. It doesn't seem to affected the Doctor Who brand overall, which is good to hear, which is very good to hear. But Doctor Who, just the higher end merchandise is not selling at all. Nobody's buying it. They're taking baths on this stuff, and they're going to have to rethink the whole thing. I don't know how the tchotchkes are. I did walk by my, I've gotten pictures from people too, and please send me these. If you see like just big racks of toys for Doctor Who at like a Hot Topic or something here in the States, I walk by. The big Doctor Who section is now a little Doctor Who section, and everything is half off, but kind of everything is on Hot Topic at Hot Topic. So, but I got sent a picture from a comic shop. I can't imagine why the comic shop would buy that much stuff, and you get buried under that. If you're a comic store and you buy a bunch of merchandise, for one, the discount you get is like 15%. You don't get shit. It's almost like buying it off the rack. I mean, the discount is terrible. So you're going to take a huge bath on that stuff. So I would, if there's comic shop owners right there, don't buy that stuff. Don't buy stuff with a 15% discount. It's horrible. Or a caution 4. Caution 4 is diamond lingo for shit you can't return, and they can send it to you whenever you want. Like a caution 4 is like, I ordered something in 2009 and Diamond can send it to me in 2012. And I completely forgot I ordered it. So that is the news, the Doctor Who merch, and I'm looking into it more. Trying to find more information, but it's not looking good. And that is your first sign of a problem. It's a huge problem because that's where they make all their money. They don't make any of the money off these ratings. And I can't imagine. Yeah. I'm wondering what the episode count's going to be for season 12. It'll probably be the same, which is 10 episodes now. The festive episode took such a bath. Thank you for the super chat. Ninja Lou, $5. I don't know. I don't think the women were the problem. It was stupid slapstick humor, which didn't fit Ghostbusters. It wasn't fun or smart like the first movie. And fundamentally, that was the problem, I guess. I didn't see the movie. So, I just heard it was a bad film, and it could have been a good film if they had somebody talented, but they decided to be a little obnoxious with the marketing, and that's that. Dude, Ninja Lou, it is okay. You guys can comment about anything whenever. These are kind of free flow, these live streams. It's whatever you want to talk about. So if you want me to bring up something, let me know. Hang on. I got a message from, Mrs. Neurotic. Oh, I love you too. She just sent me a heart. Isn't that sweet? But sorry if the comment seemed late. I didn't realize I was 5 minutes behind in the video. It's okay, Ninja Lou. Thank you so much for the super chat. Super chats are not required, but they are appreciated. And just hit @Nerdrotics. I will try to get to as much as I can. The media doesn't even know how to just report on things anymore. All they know is to just judge and then share their opinion as fact. That's why I say justice for Covington. Will Gentry, is there something I should know about here? I'm going to look that up. Covington Bear? I don't know. Sorry, I wish I was aware. Okay, hashtag on Twitter. This is a manufacturer just for Covington. The lawsuits need to start. I will look into that. I can't look into it now, but I will look into it. Thanks, Will Gentry. What is the Matrix? Chuck Norris is better behind the Brie. Better. I'm sorry, has a better behind than Brie. He must work out. Chris Hemsworth was also, yes, I already read that one. I got to go down here. People like Spy. Yeah, I didn't hate it. Mrs. Neurotic likes it. West End Girls. There you go. West End Girls is still outside the mall waiting for a lift from you, Gary. Mrs. Neurotic is still outside the wall waiting for a lift. Oh, is that? Oh, shit. Okay. The Squire of Gothos Covington lawsuit for the MAGA hat guy and that whole incident. Got you. Okay. Thank you. I watch so little of the news because I'm dialed in on this Star Trek stuff. I didn't know it was called the Covington case, but I have heard it. Yes. New Pet Shop Boys EP today. Wow. Hey, well, hey, they're my age, so. Yes, the media kind of ran. The media ran with the story before getting the facts, and then this is the same media that gets on our ass for running with stories without facts. When I don't run with stories, I run with rumors. I am just a person with a microphone. I am not a reporter. I don't break news. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it with you guys. I am a fan, amongst other fans, talking about fan stuff. Wow. That's a lot of money. They're suing for $250 million. I don't want to get into political talks, but that's a lot of, well, hey, if the kid got, I got it. Well, I certainly, if somebody is falsely accused, I hope they get theirs. How's that sound? The New York Times. Good. Good. The New York Times are owned by a gazillionaire who made a lot of his money off of cheap cell phones and stuff. So, Remember when critics were honest and cared about the art of filmmaking? Yeah, Josh and Rebecca, remember when they like actually went to school for a thing like that? We need to show a zombie Siskel and Ebert. God, I miss them. I used to love that show. And like what they said had I would get mad at them when they didn't like a movie I liked, but getting their approval meant something because they were fair. They were extremely fair. Now they've been wrong about stuff. They were wrong about Blade Runner, but they came out and admitted it later. I mean, sometimes movies are way ahead of people. Sci-Fi canceled Night Flyers. Mills, yeah. Are you surprised? People hated that. Remember Integrity? Does anybody remember Laughter? Are you going to do a special for the cancellation of Star Trek Discovery? I would love to see you with a party hat on that day. Zanzoltan, yes. I think some of us have talked about a 24-hour live stream. Listen, it's going to happen soon. One of these things is going to happen. I don't know when, but it's going to, I will say in the next couple of years. Jody will leave as the Doctor. Rian Johnson will not get his trilogy, and Star Trek Discovery will get canceled. Now, Star Trek Discovery gets canceled after season 3. I don't think it's up in the air. I think the only thing keeping that show alive is saving face for your streaming network that you're all in on right now. Right now, this is the most important time for the streaming network. It needs to work because CBS All Access rushed to get it out, ahead of time, because when Disney comes in, they've already got enough competition. Listen, it was never going to make it. CBS All Access is never going to make it to Netflix and Amazon Prime levels. It's just not going to happen. They didn't get in the game soon enough, and it's just not going to work. It's being relevant, and maybe they could work with Netflix or just being big enough. But CBS is going to lose its power and status once network TV is gone, because they're not one of the big boys anymore. So that's why they're buying other things. There's a rumor right now that when the Viacom sale, or when the Viacom merger, if the Viacom merger happens, that Viacom and CBS, when they're one company, want to try to buy Sony. I think there's a lot of companies that want to buy Sony. And Night Flyers is gone. Yes, Night Flyers is indeed gone. I don't know. Is Umbrella Academy getting a second season? Because God dang, I love that show so much. They shot the Ghostbusters symbol in the groin. The best a hoax can get. CBS No Access works for me. Sony rumor has been going on for years. Yes. Sony was about to get sold DJD show, but then they did the deal with Marvel. But I don't know. Well, yeah, right now, I don't know. I could see Apple buying them or something like that. That's a good question, Ryan. I think it would be just the movie division, not the entire company. No, the games do just great. I think the movie division probably brings the company down in some aspects. But the game side is just fine. Is it just me, or are there too many mergers going on right now? I feel like it's impinging on the quality of our shows, not improving them like they always promise. Yeah, I think, Will, we're getting a lot of good TV right now because of the streaming wars, but the mergers are going to kill that eventually. Yeah, it's going to kill innovation. Can't cancel Star Trek just yet. For them to be able to sell it syndication, they need to have at least 4 or 5 seasons for them to successfully sell it to other networks' channels. That's a good point. The dude, I totally agree with that. Is syndication going to be a thing in a few years, though? It still is now. Syndication still, ask the Big Bang Theory if they like syndication. But I don't know if you could sell it on syndication. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Was Night Flyers good? Not really. Not really. Congrats on reaching 42,000 today. You're growing nicely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. It has been an amazing ride, and it's been interesting. And I've spent the last 48 hours trying to I am weeks behind on some messages. It got a little overwhelming because I've got dad duties and other responsibilities. So I've tried to simplify my life, and I'm actually making headway on this. And sometimes I feel like it was better when I didn't read some messages. God damn. Ah, man. I would be a very entertaining live stream if I just, without names, read messages in the morning. Oh, shit. Like Mrs. Neurotic and I play a little game. We wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, are we going to have a good day or a bad day? And we just see what the first comment is. And sometimes it's you eat a C or you're awesome. So, and the thing is, you can't take either of them. I mean, you're grateful for one and the other one's like, and that really is okay. But sometimes there's friendly fire. Of course, there's people who like the channel, when it was small and don't like the direction it's taken. And it's like, there's not a lot I can do about that at all. The channel evolved how the channel evolved, and it's because of you guys. Chris Persia, thank you for the $2. All hail the bearded one and his 42K power. I love that I'm at 40. Thank you, Chris Persia. Thank you. I hope you like your new wrench. I love that we're at 42, my favorite number. So, okay. Oh, I got something in from the insider. Just a moment. We got to read it. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but he's just being funny. Sorry, I can't. Okay, yeah. So some messages, I mean, like other YouTubers can sympathize. It's just like, but it's not bad. It's great. It is brilliant. I'm having a ton of fun, and I'm glad you guys are here, and the people who've stuck with me, thank you so much. It's hey, we're gonna do fun stuff too. I kind of have fun doing everything. I think it is fun, and I think it is important to point out when the media is being full of crap, and to be a place where people can come and just gather without being judged. What you were talking about earlier in the chat, no judgment here. Okay. I don't judge you for liking Star Trek Discovery. I don't care. I don't make personal attacks on people who like the show ever, but I get tons of it for not liking the show. Fine. I mean, that comes with the territory. So I'm not whining or anything. I'm not a victim. All right. Bring it. I don't care. It's been a lot of fun and unexpected, but again, it's thanks to you guys and these live streams and talking to you. This is, I mean, like doing the recorded videos is fun, but it's not, I mean, live streaming is the best. It is the best. And I've got a lot of big plans for some fun stuff coming up. Okay. So we're going to get some people on, some fun people on. I've been so buried under anything. So, I mean, I have open invitation to Bowles Trek. We're going to try to get him on. He is brilliant. Anti-Trekker, going to try to get on in the next couple weeks. It looks like I'm going to be doing something with, I don't know if I can talk about it. Well, I kind of already talked about it, but Alec Peters from Axonar, we've been in contact, and super nice guy. I've been kind of a pain in the ass to get a hold of lately because I've been so busy. So apologies. Yeah, we got some fun stuff coming up. Plan on doing something with Jeremy, hopefully soon, with Geeks and Gamers. God, I missed another invitation to the High Council last night because I was doing a video, which sucks, but that's my fault. So hopefully they invite me again. But I had the best time with Anna last time. It was great. Joined after listening to Doomcock and Nerdrotic on the Exozone. Oh, Ronan Blade, that is badass. That is so much fun. And I'll do some Wednesday Woo in a little bit. And Doomcock. Doomcock's brilliant. Doomcock's my friend. Jeremy Clarkson is the Doctor. I would be okay with that. I really would. Neil Blumkin does cool sci-fi small films at Oates Studios. Visual, great stuff. I hope his RoboCop movie will be me too, Sebastian. Me too. I love District 9. Love that movie. He wants to emulate a Verhoeven style with it. Brilliant. You know, Verhoeven is a style that I really appreciate now more than I did then. I liked those movies back then, but I don't think I recognized like how brilliant the dude was until later. In season 3, if season 3 of STD is like the short Calypso with most of the cast is dead and interesting characters come to the discovery like a fantasy island, I'm in. Your God is Nowhere. Me too. I would be too. Womble Hunter, Gary, you basically take. Oh God, why did it just jump on? He said he basically taken the comic store and made it global. But now I got to put the store up on the website, which I'm ready to do. I am. The comics are going to be cheap, folks. I'm not going to believe me. I'm more eager to get rid of them. But this is the cool thing about having basically a comic store in your house. I just watched the Umbrella Academy and I'm like, I think I had the comics. I can't remember. I mean, I honestly, it was in a box I haven't opened in 10 years. 8 years. Here they are. All the Umbrella Academy first printings from Dark Horse. I always recommend that you try to buy the comics. I know there's really nice and cheap graphic novels out there, but if you can get a set of the comics, it's just, this is what they're made for. This is, I mean, I know people like trades. I personally don't. I like the comic books. I'd rather buy a set. The cover art on this is just beautiful. Gabriel Ba. So yeah, my favorite one is the free comic book day one. This one right here. That is awesome. The series is great, folks. The series is great. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting to know. Okay, there you go. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Womble Hunter. I appreciate it. And hail Doomcock. Subscribe to Doomcock, please. Live stream is the best DJD show. Hey, have you not done, or have I missed your live streams? I must have missed your I had to sleep in this morning. Where you been, man? Did you move him to another channel or something? I feel like I've missed him. I'm missing my DJD show in the morning. That weird wit. And I mean that all in the best, my friend. Comic book black belt. I like that. That is that's a calling your shot right there. I am a comic book black belt. I don't know. Love your channel. Dropped you a portrait on a Facebook group. Can I get a shout out for my channel? Yes, of course. Comic book black belt. I don't do drama, but I do art. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Check out Comic Book Black Belt here. It's on YouTube, right? So Comic Book Black Belt just as art. That is brilliant. Oh, there it is right there. Helps if I click on it. Yeah, he's only got 43 subscribers. There it goes. And 10-minute Batman warm-up sketch. I love it. I love art channels. Yeah. So there we go. How's that for a shout out? Boom. There's the channel. Go check it out if you like art channels and stuff. Thanks, Comic Book Black Belt. I appreciate it. Loquacious Primate, my good friend, $5 with a beard of copper and a voice of gold. Fandom's attempt to break the mold. A place to rejoice just a bit sooner. Everyone hail the nerdrotic nooner. Thank you. Oh, thank God the beard's copper and not gray. Thank you, Loquacious Primate. That you are too kind. Oh, Susan's friend sent me some t-shirts of he drew a picture of me and it's so great. I got the shirts. I'll show them to you next live stream. They're brilliant. Friday night shirts will be available just for the nerdrotic symbol. Yeah. So they're going to be on Teespring. So that means they'll be available for a limited time, but all proceeds go back into the channel. Nicholas Glenn, $4.99. I just bought the Maximum Carnage run of Spider-Man comics off eBay this week. Excellent. When you post your store online, I will be sure to check it out. Dude, it will be happening. It's going to be through nerdrotic.com. It's just going to be, you pay me through PayPal. I'll try to find an alternate pay service for that. And it's going to be basic. So there'll be, there'll be windows on the site and you can just click on it and the comics will be cheap. I'm a grader, so I can pretty much grade everything. There'll be a lot of Bronze Age, a lot of Silver Age, and a lot of modern sets. I sell them in sets. If you guys have requests, you can send them. But so the inventory I used to have at the store was quarter million comics. I have about 60, 70 long boxes. But thank you very much. Hey, Penn. Did I see Penn? Penn. Oh my God, I've missed you. Where you been? Just got off the train from visiting my dad and came right into work. Oh my God. Thank God you're back, Penn Farm Girl. Wednesday Woo Woo. We will get Wednesday Woo Woo for sure. In a little bit, actually. In a little bit. Give me just a second. I got to get back to my oh man, why is Mrs. Nerdrotic messaging me? Please talk amongst yourselves. Should I show this? It's so freaking cute. Oh, you can't hear it. So there's these animations. No, I can't show. That's funny though. So she sends me messages now and it's like a cartoon face of her. I'll show you what the picture looks like. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I just got to make sure I'm not showing off any phone numbers or anything like that. So I love to do that. I love to show off my own phone number. Yeah, but it's like this. So if you hit that, it's my wife sending me a message. Yeah, and the other message was just me asking what she wants for dinner, so I don't care if you see about that. But yeah, so she's sending these over and over again. It's just for mundane shit, and it's like, okay, so mom found a new app, and we're so middle aged. We're like, oh, look at this cartoon app, and we're using it all the time now. And it's like, of course, my kid is rolling his eyes and doesn't care. Tomorrow in the media, how the new Ghostbusters promotes white supremacy, and Jason Reitman should apologize to Ellen Page for giving her a career. Thomas Hart, you just predicted a headline. You're like Nerdstradamus. Official Dougie J. How much for the original Dark Legion #1? Don't you have one? You should have one. Yes, there's my boy right there. The DJ D Show, news, satire, and comedy. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy, and one of my wrenches, and a good friend. The official Dougie J in here, folks. I've known that guy since I was is it 8? I think I've known you since I was 8. Like he and I got into Hitchhiker together. That was and Star Trek and everything else. Will anybody be seeing Captain Marvel, says Phoenix Might? I will be. Got my tickets for the 7th. I will be. Okay, so I'm seeing a 7 o'clock show Pacific time. It'll probably let out at 10 after, 45 minutes of previews and all the BS. So at like 11 p.m. Pacific time. So you guys in Europe will be up. I will give my review, and this is how we'll do the review. The first 15 minutes will be spoiler free, and then I'll break out my spoiler paddle and warn you to go away if you don't want to hear spoilers. And then we'll do a spoiler review. Comics Division, my good friend, will be joining me. Artemis, take care, man. You're the best. You're the best. And I still maintain this is the best chat ever. You guys are great in here. What did Halam say? That's right. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes. Excellent. Definitely do that. Nicholas Glenn for $4.99. Do you have a copy of Uncanny X-Men 266 or New Mutants 98? I'm looking for a deal on both of those. I know I have 266 for sure. New Mutants 98. Dude, I used to have a box full of those. I shit you not. One of the first things I looked down when I bought the store, I went downstairs and I had a long box No, 2 long boxes full of Swamp Thing #7 by Bernie Wrightson and Batman. 2 long boxes of The Demon #1 by Jack Kirby. And I was selling those right up until I sold the store, by the way, for $20 a piece. And then I had a short box full of New Mutants 98. So I sat on that for a while, sold them for like $60 a piece. This was a long time ago, so that was still a lot of money. Yeah, I'm sure I still have one. Nicholas, we will talk. I know I have 266, and I'll definitely give you a deal on that. The grade is like, I would say between like very fine minus, probably. That would be my guess. Thank you, Comic Book Black Belt. Good for you. Thank you very much. I'll be seeing Captain Marvel as soon as I can download the dodgy version for Pirate Bay. Sailing the high seas, yar there, Will Gentry. Davic Quest. Smack that like button. Just like it talked bad about your mama. All right. Flirkin. What's Flirkin? Yeah, so I'll let you know. And honestly, if Captain Marvel's good, I'll tell you, I don't care. I mean, if it, that's why I was very hesitant to do Captain Marvel videos. But when the marketing got lame, and then when the toxic media used it to attack fans, I mean, you caught that, right? I know other people did videos and good. I hope more people do videos. Comicbook.com, and there was more. We got this covered. Comicbook.com, comicbookmovie.com, and complex.com took 19 comments. And out of the 19 comments, I think there might have been 2 that a very sensitive person would construe as bad. I didn't see any bad in there, and I read them all on my video. That was all of them. Now, I don't know if Rotten Tomatoes deleted some. They could have. But it seemed to me that the only comment that they showed that was from the 19th, it was yesterday was the night. There was only 2 from the 19th. So I don't know where they got that from, and they were trying to stir it up, or maybe they thought nobody was going to check. I don't know. It's not piracy. He's renting it from Tor. Of course, Gawker's death rattle. I would never accuse him of that anyway. Will Gentry is an honest citizen. Maybe I'll send you a copy. How much for a copy of Superman #1 from 1939? $2 million, if it exists. Joseph, I have heard that there are less than 100 in existence, and as far as being complete copies, less than that. It sold for $1 million, 10 years ago at Comic-Con, and that changed. That when that happened, back issues changed. I remember the next year, everything across the board that was considered a key issue, Joseph, doubled in price. Did you read the new Captain Marvel tag? Some heroes are built, Iron Man. Some are made, Captain America. Some are born. How? Because she is Captain Vagina. Now, that's how Captain Marvel was created. So they're going to change the origin and say she was born that way, so she's a mutant. All right, like what? Marvel needs to be careful. I know this is a touchy subject. What's the funniest thing, Thomas Hart? It's weird. I'll never begin to be able to figure out YouTube. But my Captain Marvel videos don't get the views. Well, they don't get the recommendations that my Star Trek or Doctor Who ones. But it brings in like 3 times as many subs. So I don't get it. Did someone in the chat mention Orville action figures? Heard anything? Montana Horseman, the only thing I've heard is there's Orville Hero Clicks. That's not an action figure, but they are going to be Orville Hero Clicks, which I think is a good sign. Usually a TV show waits about 3 seasons before they start producing action figures. Now, of course, Farscape was, no, I don't think Farscape was an exception. Like Doctor Who, they didn't start making them until the 3rd season. Or maybe, no, I think it was the 3rd season. Yeah, because was it Martha? No, she was in the 2nd line. So maybe it was the second season. They usually wait. I want a Norville ship, but I want it like, I don't want an Eagle Moss ship. I want like a Diamond Select ship that's about this big. But yeah, but I'm still waiting for good Game of Thrones action figures that we're never going to get. Yeah. All right. Did you stock Captain Marvel comics and did they sell? Phoenix Might, I did. They'd never sold. No. The only Captain Marvel comic that sold consistently for a decent period of time was the Brian Reed Captain Marvel in the early aughts, right around Secret Invasion or Civil War, right around that time. And it was still Miss Marvel in her bathing suit, very busty. And Brian Reed's run was pretty damn good. The Kelly Sue DeConnick comic, I remember when it came out because I'll never forget how many people dumped it after the first issue. They bought it as a number one. There was the whole Marvel Now thing going on, and people were actually excited that she, was the name change. People were cool with it. Nobody was like, eh. But then they read the comic and they're just like, it just didn't work for me. And I'll tell you right now, I can go look at my data, and I doubt I would have forgot. There was a single woman who subscribed to Captain Marvel. Maybe she was born with it. There you go. Katie Sackhoff on BSG would have been a perfect Captain Marvel. She has the right personality for it. She would, yeah. Prior to Brie Larson being cast on the podcast, we talked about this a lot. And I said that, if you're going to bring in Captain Marvel and bring in this nobody character, it's very important that you bring in an actress that's charming. You have to bring in the female Robert Downey Jr. It's not really fair, but that's what you need to bring in. Why did Iron Man work? Iron Man is a character I loved as a kid, bought the comic all the time, but he was never an uber popular character. He was popular, but not uber popular. It's the one case where the movies made the comic more popular on a consistent basis. Iron Man became, part of the Mount Rushmore of Marvel where he wasn't before. When I bought my store in 2003, I had 8 subscribers for Iron Man, 8 subscribers for Captain America, and about 10 for the Avengers. It was rock bottom. And Robert Downey Jr. helped turn that around. Now, Captain America, Brubaker helped turn that around. And also the comics were good in the early 90s too. They had the Warren Ellis run going in. They had a lot of good stuff in there. That was a good time. It was also the last good time, unfortunately, for comic books. Dragon Volder X, thank you for the $1.68. Dragon, that's awesome. Thank you. If you got a question, holla. Tokyo Gaijin for 50 yen. Let me throw you $5. I got to get to work. It's almost 8:20 a.m. here. We'll listen on the train. Keep doing what you do. Tokyo, keep doing what you do. All right. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, Gawker's Death Rattle, Dragon Volder X, and Tokyo Gaijin. Thank you so much. They made Carol Danvers half Cree to remove that pesky taint of man from her origin. Harp, the radical moderate. Yep. The one thing they changed about her origin is they made sure she did not get her powers from a man in any way, shape, or form. That's an unnecessary change, and that is a political change. And don't think that Doctor Who is going to do the same thing next season. I think they were going to save it. I remember reading an article saying they're going to change the Time Lord's backstory. They dropped that hint with the timeless child. The Doctor had mentioned she has 7 grandmas and multiple sisters, and they're going to do the same damn thing. Ed Brubaker, GCPD, good book. Austin Woods. Ed Brubaker was awesome. One of the best comic writers in history. Emily Blunt was supposed to play Black Widow. Yes, they did. The actual Captain Marvel, you're right, was black. Monica Rambeau. She led the Avengers. I remember her first appearance. It was a big deal because back then a first appearance of a character was rare. Did somebody say Emily Blunt as Captain Marvel? No, she was supposed to be Black Widow, and she got hurt or something. I can't remember. Saying Katie Sackhoff is too old doesn't make sense. Oh, she's not. Her first movie might be a prequel, but that just means she's going to be 20 years older by the time the Avengers Endgame. Anyway, to me, Carol Danvers has to be post 30. That's me. And well, they're de-aging Nick Fury, so they could have de-aged her too. If they do that to Doctor Who, I'm all set to fire on. Yeah, let's hope not that we don't have to, but Will Gentry, they've hinted that strongly that they're going to be messing with the Time Lord's past. I'm just glad they didn't get to it too much this season, but they're gonna. I'm just wondering how they're gonna retroactively. I hope everything makes sense by the end of the movie. The Doctor had a bad dad, and we're going to find out the Doctor probably was a bad dad. That's the double bad dad entendre. As I said before, they did the bad dad thing in the Umbrella Academy. It was the one thing that bugged me about it, but that was it. All right, so toxic fandom, the relation to toxic fandom. So I think I played it out really well. We've seen preemptive strikes from the media, stirring it up with the fans. And of course, I shared that John Campea tweet, and that's why I'm just, maybe the media should leave the whole toxic fan thing alone. Cause you're looking, every day that goes on, you look worse and worse, and you need to pump the brakes. Thankfully, we have two websites out there that call other people out and are brave enough to call. And again, I want to plug Bounding into Comics and Bleeding Fool. These are two sites that are they're one of us. They're I don't agree with everything. Like, I think Bounding into Comics, or is it Bleeding Fool? I don't want to attribute this wrongly. Put up an article on how the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings trilogies were the worst movies ever made, which I respectfully disagree with, but we can disagree on stuff. It's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't. Jenny, the Doctor's daughter, she was great. How great was she? Who wouldn't want to see a show with that? With her. I'm sorry, with that. I just talked about her as an object. All right. I'm a misogynist. There I go again, being so misogynist. I'm going to go find my group of misogynists to go do misogynist things on the street. Okay. Okay. Also, a Penn Farm Girl, I don't know if you were here. We starting in a couple weeks, we're going to start doing getting patrons on the Friday Night Tights and bringing on guests. So Doctor Who, that would be a good argument, Kenzie Mack. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I would argue Captain Planet was a proto SJW show. Yes. There's no argument for me on that one. We need a Doctor's Daughter spinoff. We do. Mansplaining, nerdsplaining, doctor-splaining, dork-splaining, media-splaining. We have the media-splaining stuff to us. And media judging, judge-splaining. But what they did, that was horrible, what they did last night. Terrible. Oh, wait, that was his Susan was his granddaughter. But according to some articles, the first female heroine of Doctor Who was the 13th Doctor and not Susan. No. Yeah. Or Ace. Do you think Moffat established the first Doctor as the first incarnation and Twice Upon a Time was an attempt to avoid retconning the Doctor? Douglas Nelson, that is a good question. I'm going to come out in a little bit of defense of Moffat, even though Moffat is certainly as guilty as Chibnall for being uber PC within his show. But I think he was just towing the company line, because I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Season 5 and 6 don't feel anything like season 7 with Matt Smith, and in tone 8, 9, 10. I mean, they're just completely different. It feels like something fundamentally changed with the show after the 50th anniversary. It felt like a different show, and after that, and at the time, I couldn't really put my finger on it. But as more and more time went on, it looked like because it had gotten to such a huge level globally, they decided to use that to push an agenda instead of maybe make more money and make your show better. Jenny was amazing. She was really cool and smoking hot too, says Will Gentry. Yes. Yeah, she's a pretty lady. Or is that my toxic masculinity talking? Oh, probably, but that's okay. Austin Woods. Yeah, it was Brexit. When was Brexit again? What year? Can't remember. You might be right on that one. Sarah Jane did a better job leading the series than 13th Doctor did. Tekkaman Blade, yes. The Sarah Jane Adventures are a cool kid show. They, for some reason, don't want to bring back Romana. I don't know why. I've never heard a good explanation. Brexit was 2016. Okay. Yeah, it was happening before that. I'd say it was happening in 2013. Maybe Eccleston really is the Doctor, which is why he left after season 1. He saw what was to come. Yep. Well, the reason he left was politics, office politics of BBC. He had creative differences with the higher ups, he said. So that's why he left. Is Whittaker the first Doctor since Donna Doctor was a thing? Maybe. As far as females, yeah. Is Captain Marvel as popular? If Captain Marvel is popular, what is the chance we get an America Chavez film? 100%. Well, I won't say film, show. We'll get a show on the streaming network. 1000%. Yes, with the Spin Doctor's daughter, me and Clara would be great. If it's Clara from Asylum of the Daleks, if it's Clara from anything else, I don't know. Yeah, she's the first. Just say no to Captain Marvel's kids. According to Eccleston, the creatives treated the regular crew shitty. I remember hearing that interview. So it's the creatives. Really? I always, you know what? I might have heard that different, Thomas. Then I always thought it was like management, but maybe you're right. Well, that's not cool. Ray Venkman, only in Europe is treason rewarded handsomely. I don't know. Love your stuff, but it needs more Cecil. Well, I mean, if any Cecil would be more Cecil, Jazz 249. Doesn't everything need more Cecil? I haven't seen a Cecil live stream. Is he all right? Or maybe I'm just missing him. I subscribe to Cecil. What about Kamala Khan movie? Oh, God, no. God, no. If they make an America Chavez series or movie, the MCU is doomed. Perhaps that will usher in. Well, I kind of think that's happening anyway, Chris Persia. I think the MCU has just had its time in the sun, and I'm not saying it's going to crash and burn. I'm just going to say the law of diminishing returns. You have Avengers Endgame. It's going to end, so they got to continue stuff on without the big three, and it's just not going to be as good or big. That's a fact. It's going to continue. It will certainly continue, but not at the trajectory it was at before. because, Chris Hemsworth and, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. I mean, and now they don't have the Guardians of the Galaxy, the whole crew together, unless they wait for James Gunn to come back, but maybe they'll get one more movie out of that. Yeah. I think it's time for the DCU to pick up the mantle and maybe do something. We got to see that happen first, but what's the Doctor's pronoun? Oh, I don't know. The Doctor, I think. I'm not sure. Word is already out that Captain Mary Sue, it is exactly what you expect. Is that what you're hearing, Man of Action? From the real folks? Oh, I should probably check that, huh? Hey, talk amongst yourselves. What's this? YouTube is blowing. Notifications have been taking a lot of damage this month. The notifications change is my guess. Yeah, something happened to the algorithm, or maybe I'm just sucking. I don't know. But my last couple live streams are not getting the numbers that they used to. So maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. But I don't think my notifications go out at all, because you're supposed to get your own notification. You know that DJD show, right? I never see it, ever. Did anybody get notifications? Please let me know. Just with a yes would be fine. Yes, avoid it at all costs. Billy Piper. I love Billy Piper, TJ347. Oh, God, yes. She is not aging. I think she drinks the blood of virgins or something. How long before Kevin Feige steps down? I predicted within the next couple years, because I think he's nope. I did. Nope. No. God, yes. So it's like 50%. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, at least somebody got him. Thanks, guys, for letting me know. Kevin Feige is so goddamn smart. Like, probably the smartest guy in Hollywood. So I would guess you want to go out on top. If he even sniffs that thing is going to go, I think he either tries to bolt or they give him more power. So I think he's going to have a major position of power in Disney. Disney would be crazy to let them go. But wouldn't you? And it looks like, I would always think that DC would want to steal him, but the Walter Hamada at DC seems like he's the guy turning things around. So good for him. And that's good. The Hollywood needs more Kevin Feige's for sure. Damn, that is like 50% no notifications. Son of a gun. How long until he's Me Too'd, says Wandering Lisa. Ugh. Does he? Well, you know what I would say. Does he look like that type of guy? But what's that type of guy look like? Wandering Lisa. Everybody. So, how do I get notifications, Keely Ann? That's a good question. Keely, if you would go to my channel, you see where it says subscribe. On the right, there's a bell. You got to click on the bell and make sure there's 2 parentheses around it. And that way it's activated. That's to make sure your notifications are activated. So please check if you got a moment. I would appreciate that. Thank you, Keely Ann, for the $2 and the reminder. That's cool. How nice. Kevin Feige might leave when the current cast of actors retires from the franchise. Joseph, I kind of think he might. I really do. I think you leave when you're on top. You go take some big executive position and you go down as a legend in Hollywood. If he leaves after Avengers Endgame, legend. They will name streets after him. There will be statues. They might put a picture of him right next to the Hollywood sign. Squids McCracken says, I get notified. I miss a lot because family stuff and being across the pond. That's cool. I try to do enough so my UK friends can jump on. Yeah, don't forget to lick that button and leave a comment and share. It helps. I never had notification, but I have no life, so I'm always here. Aw. Venom Broly, do you have the bell rung? You have a life. You do. You're here. Did they write Civil War Captain Marvel 2 to be really hateable? I don't think they meant to, Harry Pancake. Harry Pancake. But they did. She was awful. Yeah. So what they did with Captain Marvel, they had her falsely imprison people, and yeah, she was basically kind of a Nazi. Subscribe Monty Python bit during PBS subscription drives. Yes. I wish I could do that. Just play Monty Python during subscription drives. They should do Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman's Miracle Man, Marvel Man, just to stir things up. That would be great, actually. Once Kevin goes after 10 years, the writing on the wall for the MCU's future. If he goes, it's over. Watching Nerdrotic is living the life, my dudes. That's awesome. Man of action. It is good to see. Okay, I'm going to go on Twitter and see what they said. Give me just a sec. I'll share some of that. We got a few more minutes here. Boop, 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 boop. By the way, at Nerdrotics on Twitter. Oh, Michael Wolf. What's an NZ? $10. I'm learning all kinds of new money. Oh, I did it wrong. There you go. And don't call me right now. New Zealand. Oh, God, I'm so dumb. New Zealand. Awesome. God, I want to go there. Oh, Middle Earth. Great show, mate. Keep it going. I will. Mikhail Wolf, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Brother down in New Zealand. Brilliant. And Keely, thank you so much. JPRPH1, loved your Orville and Captain Marvel vids. Need to catch up on this one. Dad's been in the hospital. Oh, no. Why? For a week, and your stuff will be a welcome distraction. Give your dad my best. I'm sorry to hear that. JPRPH1, you have a good day, and I'll try to be a very good distraction. Yes. Major Blood Knock. Thank you for the £1. You don't have a question. Ask a question. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, it's brilliant hearing from New Zealand. And JPRPH1, seriously, like, I hope your dad's okay. Let me know how things turn out. Do you think we'll ever get a future Foundation Spider-Man in the MCU? God, I hope so. But that would mean we would get a Fantastic Four. And if we got a Fantastic Four, then we get a future Foundation. And that was really kind of like my last good run of comics that I remember. Blade Runner 9732, great fan game. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Okay. Making a movie for her is like making a movie for the Beyonder. Did they OP her? I wonder if they overpowered her so much here. So let's see what the hashtags say about Captain Marvel. Oh, early reviews, first reactions, praise, surprise, badass film. Did you see Mendelsohn is trending, but see, it's because people are liking his performance in Captain Marvel. So somebody is trying to insinuate that they're only Ben Mendelsohn's trending because they just want to praise the white guy. Okay, that's typical Twitter. Angie J. Han says hashtag Captain Marvel. Well, Thanos is fucked. Okay. What's this ad say? Oh, the cat thing's gonna annoy me. I'm sorry. I know people like cats. It's just gonna. There we go. Somebody drew over somebody else's Captain Marvel picture and tried to call their own. Come on, there's so much of that going on. People, stop it. Draw your own stuff. The numbers for Captain Marvel just keep dropping more and more. Make sure to tell Rotten Tomatoes how interested you are in seeing oh God. Okay, I'm going to share this. Oh wow. Yeah, this is going to be salty, folks. And you can blame Marvel and Disney and their marketing for stirring this shit up. Don't blame YouTubers. Don't blame people on Twitter. Blame Disney and Marvel for stirring this crap up. So here's a nice tweet. The numbers for Captain Marvel just keep dropping more and more. Make sure to tell Rotten Tomatoes just how interested you are in seeing Brie F. White Men Larson on the big screen. My kingdom for Nick Fury and Goose Buddy comedy Captain Marvel. I effing loved Captain Marvel. Yolanda Mikado, Sassy, Mamaine, LA. Okay, that's a blue check mark. Do they work for somebody? Oh, The Wrap. Okay, LA Times. And I believe there's some blue hair there. Not surprised. I'm looking for oh, here it is. Yeah. Some heroes are built, some are made, some are born. On March 8th, witness the rise of a hero. Alita Battle Angel. Get tickets. Hey, where are the articles that it's breaking all the ticket sales? I thought that was happening. Did that go away? Yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh, Rogue. Come on. This one says Rogue or Captain Marvel. Effing Rogue. Anti-Trekker was talking about, like, what if they're just doing a big long setup and they actually did the Rogue thing? That would actually be brilliant. And then we get the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel. But if they seriously overpower her and stuff, that's the problem. We predicted this, that she's going to come in. I will find the podcast. It is 3 years old. The first time, I've been saying it over and over, she's going to get the kill shot on Thanos. They're going to let her do it. If that happens, I will be so pissed. They can't do that. Wandering Lisa Alita was pretty cool. I actually ended up liking it. But apparently it's getting criticized for being overly sexualized, because if you just basically show a machine version of the female body, you're sexualizing and objectifying women. Although women helped make the movie, and a woman actually agreed to play the part. But I don't even get it anymore. I don't even effing care. I don't care what they say. I don't give a shit. Alita was a good movie. It was a decent movie. It's not going to break any records with me. It's not going to win any Academy Awards. It was good because the actress who played Alita was great. Not just good, she was great. The MCU has no choice but to fire Brie. She is single-handedly destroying the franchise. Do we know how long her contract is for? Antonio, it's long. But every contract is really film by film. But look at Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard just wanted to get paid more, and they sent him packing. Edgar Wright just wanted to make his own movie, and they send him packing. Edward Norton, by all amounts, went crazy, and they sent him packing. Big eyes equals hypersexuality. Oh, okay. Now I understand. No, I'm just kidding. It will mean that the Marvel film spent a decade building up to the creation of the Ultimate Mary Sue. I can't believe they would do that. I can't believe they would do that. But go see Alita. It's fun. It was a fun movie. Jean Grey kicks Marvel's butt. Well, she might. That X-Men movie just looks bland and boring as hell. It really does. It really, really does. Yeah. So I am really interested. You didn't hear a single negative tweet. Well, that tells me the whole damn thing's fake. Because even in the shills, there's going to be one guy who says something like, it was okay. I mean, it's LA. I mean, I know they're kiss asses and everything, but there's some guys who just are so pretentious they don't even care. Some, not many. Right. Harry Pancake, I have never done a super chat, but man, you are just speaking what I've been internally screaming to myself all along. Glad to have found your channel. I'm glad you did too, Harry Pancake. And I love the last name Pancake, and I love pancakes. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Daxamite, $1.99. Hi, Gary. What places would you like to travel to? Oh, New Zealand. Peru. I want to go to Peru and walk and Bolivia and check out ancient megalith and monuments. I'm really into that stuff. Really into I'm really into ancient civilizations, Randall Carlson, stuff like that. So yes, and I actually want to go to Russia someday. I want to go to Russia. That's where I'd like to go. That's cool. Thank you for the super chat. Thomas Lund, £5. Captain Nerdrotic is the best. I am just a simple. I am a private Nerdrotic, just among the people. Thank you. Thank you so much, Thomas Lund, Daxamite, Harry Pancake, Silhouetted Animator, $2. Remember that bad line from The Flash? #feminism. Did they hashtag? I don't remember that. It's probably right when I dipped out of the damn Flash. Oh man. Okay. Will Gentry, £5. So glad I found your channel, Gary, from a fellow overindulger. Here's some real English money to not spend on beer. Keep up the good work, my friend. Thank you, Will Gentry. I appreciate it. And I will not spend it on beer. I will spend it on more Pete's, which I'm going to get more today. I promise you. Death of Star Wars, $10. Great name. Do you think if Disney offered Kevin Feige all the Marvel entertainment, including the TV shows, would he stay? I am not a fan of Freeform, ABC, Hulu, Netflix, and Marvel TV shows. I think that might actually be happening because I read an article. It's on a video that nobody read or watched where they were talking about the Loki and Scarlet Witch TV series. And within that article, they asserted that Kevin Feige has power over the TV shows on the streaming network. They really need to get rid of Jeff Loeb, who is in charge of Marvel Television. Other than Daredevil season 1 and 2 and Punisher season 1, Marvel TV has generally been pretty awful. It's generally been pretty awful, and there's no excuse for that. They own everything, but they're two completely different divisions because of the schism between Perlmutter and Feige. So that needs to get worked out, and they need to have the TV universe blend into the MCU. And I think then he would have the power. Then the TV shows would get better. I really wasn't into the Loki TV show until they told us it's going to be like Doctor Who. And then I'm like, oh, well, that can be my filler Doctor Who then. Tom Hiddleston as the Doctor. That's kind of interesting. I mean, it's a ripoff, but it's interesting. Better than watching Jodie Whittaker. So. Okay, how did that? Mr. Twisted. Oh, you're just responding to Austin Wood's chat from like a million years ago. That really confused me, Mr. Twisted. Hey, how do you like your wrench, Mr. Twisted? You like that? If the MCU does a Terrence Howard on Brie, would you think would be a good replacement? Oh, I've said Katie Sackhoff. But if we've got to go younger, give me a second on that one. I'm so horrible with actresses' names. Women aren't to be sexualized unless they're Amy Schumer or Rebel Wilson. Yeah. From Lake Geneva to Finless Station. Hollywood may act like it's progressive and all that BS, but really they're all secretly sexist and racist deep down. Ray, they are. I will maintain that I've worked in many industries, but I've worked in the auto industry for many years, and I worked in the entertainment industry, and I worked in the comic book industry. Hollywood is the most sexist, racist place, and I mean racist place I've ever worked. And that's next to the auto industry, which, I mean, not now, but when I worked at it back in the 90s, people were still like dropping N-bombs like it was cool. Like they could still do that. I didn't like it back then. Don't like it now. But no, I worked in a shop. That's part of the reason. I mean, like, listen, I'm not a snowflake in any shape, way, shape, or form. But I worked at a shop where I just hated the people working there. They were just assholes. And a couple of them were, they were complete racists, like openly. In San Francisco, I was like, wow, that's weird. You expect that in other places, but it's never going to go away. That's the thing. Progress, not perfection, people. That's all we're asking for. Progress, not perfection. And, things are better than they used to be. They are. I know it doesn't seem like that sometimes. If you watch the news, shit's better, except for entertainment right now. Kind of fucking sucks. But can we talk about LO2R? It's the best. Lord of the Rings is the best. Thomas Lund, what do you want to talk about? The Amazon show. I am worried. I'm going to cover it. I want to like it. And I want Jeff Bezos, Amazon was started because of books. He is a book fan, and he is the biggest fan of Tolkien. By the way, I didn't even know there was going to be a Tolkien movie. Did you know there's a Tolkien bio movie coming out? I had no idea until I saw the trailer. So going to see it. I'm worried. I'm worried that they're going to get weird with it and all current, and they're going to want to put political agenda in Lord of the Rings, and they're going to want to sexualize Lord of the Rings. As long as they keep it in the spirit of Tolkien, do not sexualize it. I like sex and stuff. It's not that. It's just that's not why I watch or read Lord of the Rings. It's about fellowship. They're giving her binary powers, so she'll be OP as hell. Yeah, Anthony Scott. Instead of leading up to that, that sucks because that takes away. But I heard, didn't I hear the Russo brothers say they have to depower? They're going to find a way to depower her in the movie, but that means she's going to be that powered going. Well, good luck going forward if you have a god-like powers. But then, wait a minute. I thought Superman was too hard to write and too unrelatable, but it's okay for Captain Marvel. Okay. Yes, we have some good woo-woo. Let me get to that. Thank you, Mary. That's a good point. So Lord of the Rings. I need to, you know what? I think next Monday, I'll try to make a segment on that. Game of the Rings. Exactly. And towards the end of the live stream, I'll tell you guys why, like, the Lord of the Rings movies are my favorite of all time. I can never be talked out of it. They eclipsed some pretty good movies. My former favorite of all time was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't think it's ever been dethroned until I saw Lord of the Rings trilogy. It just spoke to me. I watch them all the time still. All right. Give me just a second. I've been really into, okay, so this is the Wednesday woo-woo portion. Some of it's not woo-woo. They found a second crater up in Greenland. Now, I'm a catastrophe theorist, which means 12,000 years ago, I believe that some pieces of comet came down, rained down over North America, and they melted the ice shelf over North America, like within not like within seconds, within minutes, and a giant flood washed over North America, and that's where we get all the flood myths and stuff. And basically, civilization had to restart. I believe there was an ancient civilization that was very advanced. Now, not like advanced like we are, differently advanced, like maybe like Romans. They were as advanced as the Romans, but they were able to do stuff with like stone that we cannot do today, and they were wiped off the face of the earth due to this cataclysm that the human race barely survived. I know some people don't consider that woo-woo, some people do, but it's like the thing I'm into the most. I'm also into UFOs. We do a show called The Exozone. Me and Doomcock do a show called The Exozone, where we talk about UFOs, Bigfoot, conspiracies, all kinds of stuff. Structures on the moon, structures on Mars. Don't present anything as fact, and we just talk about it and have fun. It's the kind of stuff that YouTube is actually trying to take off. It's really fun conversation. It's absolutely harmless. We don't present anything as news. And it's really a backdoor way for YouTube and others to try to censor people. To be honest with you, it has nothing to do with that debate. Dave Cullen just recently did a great video on that, which I will link in the description. Dave Cullen's been on fire lately. His last 3 videos have been perfect. So love Dave Cullen. He gave us a shout out once, so forever in his debt. Yeah, so here it is. I stretched long enough there. So for the longest time, they couldn't find the impact craters, so it's just been a theory that gets poo-pooed a lot, but they found one giant one, and they found a second one now in Greenland, and it looks like, I don't know, this one might be older. They can't tell the age, so it's anywhere from 10,000 to 10 million years old. Oh, crap, I just lost it. There we go. So I thought this was interesting. Also, we never got to it last Exozone. I wanted to talk about Phil Schneider. Phil Schneider is a guy who used to tell a story, a pretty crazy story. So here's the impact. They found the second impact. I think this backs up the catastrophe theory a little bit. If you guys are into Randall Carlson or Graham Hancock, by the way, if you're interested in this subject, but you've never read a book on it, Fingerprints of the Gods is pretty much the Bible for this now, by Graham Hancock, and Magicians of the Gods, 2 great books. Randall Carlson, tons of videos on YouTube. Watch him, but you got to watch him in order, and he gets in the weeds, but he's really good. Phil Schneider told the story of an underground base in New Mexico where aliens actually had a war with humans. Now it's tough to believe. He's got a lot of he used to be a geologist, so he used to handle explosives, but he's got a lot of injuries, and he said that he got them from this battle. Okay, so a lot of people thought he was crazy for the longest time until he got killed, and didn't kill himself. He got killed. He got strangled with a cord, and it was his death that started leading people to actually believe this guy, because he was straight up murdered, and in a very assassin type of way. Phil Schneider will be the subject of our next Exozone. It's fascinating because some of his stuff is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely nuts. But it is nuts. There's one more thing I wanted to show you guys, then, but I'll read a chat here. I saw Hollywood likes to tell the common male that they're disgusting for liking sexy women, but foams at the mouth at the thought of, well, Ray, at underage minors. It does, Ray. And one of the things I will freely point out, because it gets controversial, but I don't think this is controversial at all. The Me Too thing and Time's Up thing, where it started, yeah, there were some men abusing their power. That's been going on in Hollywood since Hollywood was invented. There was women who knew about it and didn't do anything. But it doesn't stop there. You know, we have listen and believe, but nobody listened and believed Corey Haim. Nobody believed him at all. He's dead now. So do you think there would be a different attitude towards him? How come we don't ever hear about that stuff? But we know, I mean, every person alive knows it goes on. But how come the buck is stopping at Time's Up and Me Too with women? How come it's not going? Probably because it would bring the whole fracking thing down. Maybe it needs to. That's the one. That's the biggest curiosity I have. It's not really with the Time's Up and Me Too stuff. It's happening. It's ruining some of our entertainment, but there are some assholes out there who needed to go away for a while too. You know, Harvey Weinstein deserves what he got. I mean, there's evidence and everything. That dude was a freaking scumbag. So, but I just don't think they should stop the investigations. I think they should continue on I mean, look at how many kids grow up completely screwed up from Hollywood. A vast majority. Well, why is that? It's not just the long work hours. I don't think. Just throwing it out there. That's all. Need to see. We got to get. So there was a UFO recently in Utah that flew out of the mountains, and a lot of people said it was a bird until the bird experts came out and said it's not a bird. So I was going to try to show it to you. Oh God, if I can find it. One of these days, I'm going to pay somebody $5 to be a producer. I think I'm actually possibly going to look into getting Wirecast, which might be helpful. Here, I'll just do it the easy way. Thank you for the super chat there. Hang on. I'm getting to it. All right. Vince and repeat. I like that. Australian $30.99. Is it cents? Do you have cents over there? Or are they pence or something like that? I have posted pre-reviews several times on Rotten Tomatoes about CM, but they never show on the list. Really? It looked to me like they were knocking stuff down last night, because when I was doing the video, it was 6 pages and it went to 5. So it looks to me like they were taking stuff down. I might have mentioned it in the video. Sometimes stuff hits the cutting room floor and I don't know. I'm now a fan of The Expanse because of you. Fabs Parton 95. Awesome. That is brilliant to hear. Another Expanse fan. Check it out. It's the best sci-fi show on TV. Thank you so much for the $2. Thomas Lund, because you're a white male. Yes, I am. Unfortunately. Yeah. You know what? I'm just sitting here. I'm feeling so privileged. I am. I'm happy to be on YouTube. But as far as privilege is concerned, well, someday I'll tell that story. We hit 50,000 subscribers. I will tell that story. 5 pounds. You will hear the story of privilege. William Nape for $2. SJWs are losing. Washington Post sued for 200. So that's what you're the Covington, 250 million. F yeah. Especially because, I mean, I don't want to get it. You guys, go look William Knapp. Go on Twitter and look what. I'm blanking on his name now. I just had it in my head. Hang on, I'll pull up the damn tweet. Ron Perlman's tweet. Here, you guys look it up. Go look at Ron Perlman's tweet about the Covington kid. And I stopped following after that. I'm like, I don't want to hate Hellboy, but dude, what he said about that kid was, no adult should be talking about somebody's kid like that, period. I don't care how douchey you think the kid is. And by all accounts, I guess the kid didn't do anything wrong. So hope he gets every cent of it. If it was my kid, there'd be some crazy. Psycho dad. Thank you so much. How about you? No, Antonio, no way. How about you shave your beard online when you reach 50K subs? I would lose 10,000 subs after I did that. Within 10 days, no. It slowed down a bit. I mean, we were getting like 1,000 a day for a little while there. We were back when the Doctor Who kerfuffle was going on. And we were, plus that was when Dave Cullen shouted us out, and then Bleeding Fool was sharing articles. And it's still going gangbusters. Don't get me wrong, but it's not, it will probably take like 3 weeks or something like that. If I continue coming out, if I stop doing work, it will stop. I got it. YouTube is Joseph. He is. I stopped following on Twitter. I just don't listen to he's a really unhappy dude. Like, what an unhappy guy. Like, he's lived such a life and he's just miserable all the time. I saw a whole line of UFOs flying overhead. Turned out they were Chinese lanterns. We see these all the time here. Horn Tim. That's why Yeah, I don't report UFOs here because there's all kinds of crazy shit flying over here. I haven't seen one, but I believe them. Twitter is nuts. It really is. Oh, Austin Woods, you're right. 100 subs. You have to do audio commentaries for every Doctor Who Series 11 episode. I made a mistake on that one, Austin. I really did. I should have done what I'm doing for Star Trek Discovery. I should have done the breakdown video along with the live streams. I was working my full-time job at the time, but I look back and I'm like, man, I really dropped the ball on that one, to be honest with you. I should have done that. I will be doing a review of the special features. Unfortunately, I bought the Blu-ray, but I'm probably going to toss it afterwards. I don't know if I'm going to barbecue it. Bowles Trek wants me or recommended that I barbecue it. I'm a mama bear, Papa Bear. That's the thing that really baffles me about the MAGA kid. People saying that they know what they saw, even though the video evidence proves them wrong. It's really mind-blowing. Yes. Biased. It's almost like the perception filter for Doctor Who, or there's somebody else's problem field. Like, people will just see what they want to sometimes. We saw a UFO over the UK. It turned out to be the sun. Jim Carrey would make Adrian Monk reconsider his life on how depressing he is. We'd be better off if the aliens took us. We would. Yes, I'm trying to find that article. I just can't. No. There it is. Secure team won't bust me for showing off his stuff. This is going to be real quick. Okay. So it's just going to be on a loop. You're going to have frame jumping, unfortunately, because for some reason YouTube doesn't match its own frame rate. I don't know. It's probably got something to do with my monitor. But yeah. So I was kind of convinced it was a bird until the bird guys go, nope, there's no way I was a hawk or a bird. And they had a couple independent guys who were skeptics say that wasn't a bird. Could have been something else. I don't know what it is. It's pretty good footage though. And it's just a drone flying. It could be an insect. I don't know, but it looks pretty good. I'm trying to find that other. There's the Antarctica. Now there's that. Now this is, of course, what the Pentagon released. That is the Tylenol UFO. And they think there might be similarities, but more on that on the Exozone. More of that. So I'm going to start bringing back Wednesday Woo Woo, but it's going to be a big segment. But the thing I had planned, I couldn't find. I couldn't find it. Okay. Now my stream is good again. That's weird. Here we go. Wonder Girl 60s, $9.99. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Gary, I was late to the stream. Didn't get a notification. I heard that a lot from a lot of people today. How's my back doing today? I'm about to have to cut the stream off because this is about as long as I can sit. Thank you for asking. I try not to complain. So I fell off a ladder last week, cleaning my gutters here when it was pouring rain and one of my gutters was coming down, and I got up in the ladder and I tried to overreach and it was the damnedest thing. So I'm trying to clean out my gutters with a golf club. All right. Cause I needed to get the leaves out of there and I couldn't reach them. It was pouring freaking rain and my shoe slipped and I fell with the golf club and everything. Yeah. So I went to the doctor, got x-rays. I'm probably going to be fine, but I've been in pain for like a week, and it's fine to stand up to the point where I'm going to start probably doing live streams standing up for a little while, so I can do them longer, but I'm pretty much at the end of my rope right now. I need to kind of take off. Joel Run, but thanks for asking, Wonder Girl. That's nice. $9.99. I'm sure there's people at CBS who are really freaking happy that I fell on my ass. Joel Young, thank you for the £1. We are going to wrap it up today. And what we're going to do is, so again, Friday nights are going to start getting fun because I'm going to start bringing on other YouTubers and patrons. And just, once we roll through the patrons, we'll get to subs and we'll bring people in for segments. And what we can do is set it up ahead of time and just whatever you want to talk about. So somebody wanted to talk about Lord of the Rings. I'd say, hey, come on for 15 minutes and talk about Lord of the Rings. Let's geek out about it. Yeah, almost, I don't want to do a call-in show because I'd rather talk to the chat. I don't want to distract from the chat, but I want it to be a little more interactive. So if you want some really good footage of ghosts, look up YouTube channel Top Fives. Oh, I have. And yeah, we need to talk about ghosts on Exozone. You're right. Rebecca Gold. Hi, Rebecca Gold. What's up? How's that YouTube? How's that Doctor Who fan film coming? We need that. We need that. Okay. There we go. And I will read the chat. It's been a pleasure to see you, pal. Thomas, thank you. It's been a pleasure to have you in the chat. Thank you for the £5. I truly appreciate it. You guys are brilliant. And the super chats today have been amazing. Thank you. Rough Girl Reviews, Joseph Petrick, Zan Zoltan from Argentina. That fires me up. Joseph Petrick, Rory McGee, Mr. Roboto, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Ninja Lou, Chris Persia, Comic Book Black Belt, Loquacious Primate, Nicholas Glenn, Gawker's Death Rattle, Dragon Volder X, Tokyo Gaijin, Major Bloodknock, JPRPH1, Best to Your Dad, man. Best to Your Dad. Keely Ann, Mikhail Wolf, Will Gentry, Silhouetted Animator, Harry Pancake, Daxam Might, Thomas Lund, Death of Star Wars, Thomas Lund, Anthony Scott, William Nape, Vince and Repeat, Fab Spartan 95, Thomas Lund, Wonder Girl 60, Joel Young, Thomas Lund, Montana Horseman for $5. Congrats on 42,000. Keep up the great work. Carry on. Thank you so much, Montana Horseman. William Winters, my friend. Good to see you. Love your streams as always. Right back at you, William. Thank you so much. $2. Major Bloodknock, £1.99. How dare you call me? Did I call it? Am I not supposed to call you? Is it Major? How dare you call me Major Bloodknock? It really takes me a second to get things. Here we go. Peter Sellers. See, there are things I don't know. But I did. But now I do. Say thanks to you. I've learned so many cool things from you guys. I really have. It's brilliant. All right. So next video. 2 videos are going to be, one's going to be Doctor Who for sure. There's going to be a Doctor Who video coming for sure. I might have previewed it on a previous live stream, but it's coming. It's coming tomorrow morning. And then, of course, it's Star Trek Orville Day. Now, next week might be the last week Star Trek takes priority over Orville. I don't know how much interest has waned in the show, and not just in my recaps. I did this last time. When I look at recaps and I see interest going down, I'm like, is it me or is it the show? I looked across the board at everybody recapping Star Trek Discovery and still doing weekly. Everybody's down. Why? It's happening again. The same thing happened in season 1. After the 3rd or 4th episode, people had enough and the interest goes down. Well, spoke to my insider that I talked to on the phone. He doesn't give me a whole lot, but he confirmed that interest is down. How much? I don't know, but it's pretty obvious that the actual interest in the show by people who like it and there's not enough. There's people who like the show. Clearly there's people who like the show, but there's not enough of you. There simply isn't. So you can try to argue that point. Good luck. We'll see. Who knows? But I just, I do a video. They do pretty well. And I want to try to give the Orville some love too, because the Orville deserves love because it is a better show, but sometimes it's better to watch that after Star Trek Discovery. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. And you're looking at my blank thing. Sorry about that. All right. STD is bad. Yes, it's really newsflash. Death before disco. Oh, we need those shirts. We really do. But I changed it to disco sucks. So I've got a shirt that looks like their disco shirt, but it says disco sucks. So we can always saltpeter and gruel. It's fun to hate. It is a fun show to hate. It really is. And I think that's I think that was half of Doctor Who's audience and Star Trek Discovery's audience. I have Umbrella Academy in there. I suppose I should talk about it really quick. I'm going to have to take it out of the title because I didn't talk about it enough. I will be doing a separate review on Umbrella Academy. I cannot recommend it enough. But, big but here though. If you don't like the show Legion, then you won't like Umbrella Academy. If you like the show Legion, then you will like the show Umbrella Academy. It's a little surreal. It gets into some family drama stuff. It does have too much of the bad dad trope in it. That's my only negative though. It's the family stuff is actually engaging. The actors are really good. The one who plays number 5 is brilliant. Yes. So I can't believe it baffles you so much that the guy in Argentina likes your content. I've never heard. Well, no, I've heard from one person from South America. We just don't get South America that much, which is great. Zen Zoltan. Yes, I am baffled and I am happy. Thank you so much. All right. I talked about Doctor Who earlier. You can rewind it, and I'm going to try to have timestamps up within 24 hours. Everybody have a great day, and may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Thank you so much.